Do I regret paying off my mortgage early? Did I make a massive mistake by having tunnel vision and putting all my money into the one debt? I got my first mortgage in my early 20s and then paid it off in less than 9 years. I've learnt a lot and grown a lot since I initially got that mortgage. And I know that instead of putting all that money into paying off the mortgage, I could have used that money to invest instead. When I think about the what ifs and the missed opportunities, I always come to the same conclusion. I did do the right thing, and I definitely don't regret paying off my mortgage early. There are two main reasons why I don't have any regrets, and those reasons are my anchors. Before I continue, please know that this is not personal advice, rather me sharing my story and what worked for me. I sincerely hope that by sharing my story, it will in some small way help you on your journey, whatever that journey might be. The first reason why I don't regret paying off my mortgage early is risk tolerance. Risk tolerance is how well you tolerate risk, where risk is defined as a situation involving exposure to danger. So in simple terms, risk tolerance is how we feel about being exposed to danger and how we then respond in that situation. And this all comes down to whether you are a towards pleasure or away from pain person. The pleasure pain principle was developed by Sigmund Freud.
Hello.
And based on this principle, people either make choices to avoid pain or they make choices to seek out pleasure. Take skydiving, for example. This is terrifying for John as he's motivated to avoid pain. The idea of jumping out of a plane makes him want to puke. On the other hand, sharing the same space as clouds and birds is nothing but exciting for Jane, who, by the way, is a towards pleasure kind of person. And she can't wait to step out of that plane and free fall with a parachute. Okay, so how does this relate to finance and money? At the end of the day, our financial decisions and actions are not driven by numbers and figures, but by our emotions. Those darn emotions, can't get away from them. And I am very risk averse. I don't tolerate risk very well, and I've always been an away from pain person. Most of the time, I'm motivated by having a peace of mind, and I will choose the more secure option. And you guessed it, paying off that mortgage and getting rid of that debt is the more secure option. Which leads me to the second reason why I don't regret paying off my mortgage early, and that is risk. And here I'm talking about actual risk that is associated with having debt. If I didn't make extra payments onto my mortgage, then I would have definitely been able to invest that money and grow my wealth. I could have used that money to buy an investment property instead and get passive income through renting the property out every month. Or I could have grown my portfolio and invested more in a stock market, which has an average of 10% return. So in making that decision and sticking to that decision of paying off my mortgage early, I missed out on some good opportunities to make money through investment, and that's all true. But if I had not paid off my mortgage and used that money to invest instead, I would still have that debt today. And having debt means having risk. I know. Everything has risk. Even though investing in the stock market and rental properties carry their own risk, it's a different type of risk. When debt is secured against a family home, the risk associated with that debt outweighs any potential benefit that could be earned through the investment. Because while there is a mortgage on our family home, that property does not belong to our family. It belongs to the bank. That property that my family is staying in is only temporary shelter, as the rights to the property itself belongs to the bank. If something unexpected and unfortunate happened, and I couldn't keep up with the repayments and ended up defaulting on the loan, then it's the bank's legal right to kick my family out of that property in order to sell it and get their money back. This may sound harsh and doom and gloom, but these are the facts and the basic conditions of the contract. The bank lends the borrower money in order to purchase a property with an agreement that the money will be paid off within a set time frame. And if the borrower, breaches that agreement, then it's the bank's legal right to sell that property in order to get their money back. And knowing all of this, it will be almost irresponsible for me to then not try to pay off the mortgage as quickly as possible, especially when I was the only person who had a steady job. It just made more sense for me to try and get rid of the mortgage and get rid of that risk as quickly as I could. And let me tell you, the day that I finalized the mortgage and closed off the account, and the day that the bank released the title deeds of the property to me, that was a good day. While we're on the topic of risk, one of the key factors in managing your personal finance and managing your exposure to risk is good debt management strategies. Click here to find out my top debt management strategies and find out how they can help you be debt-free and financially free. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.